Hello everyone, today on this lecture we discuss about research variable, or you say the variable. So the variable is an important topic in the research, or you say the core component in the research. So in research what happens, the researcher investigating to get an data. The researcher investigate, or we say the observe to get an data. So in our medical setting, so our research topic is mostly the human beings. Or if you work in the hospital, you deal with the patient, or even in the community, you go to the in the village. So that also be you got the individual as the subject. So what you observe, the age, gender, anxiety level, and the economic level. So this that will be observed, and this is called the characteristics of the individual. So this characteristics, and you observe what you observe, that will be get that, and that will be differ from one person to another. So this measurable and the variation is called the variables. Okay, so the researcher investigating, here is the researcher investigating the population, and what is observed, the characteristics of the population, and that is called the data. And on the data, on the basis of data, further researches continue. So if you go to the definition, so the variable, the measurable characteristics, here as we are dealing with the human being, the measurable characteristics, qualities, or the properties are studied or measured, that is called variable. So variable means that is vary from person to person, it will be vary. So if you go for the, we are taking the patient going to the community. So you in the community, you will not get the same age groups people are there. So the age will be different, different genders peoples are you will be found, and different education levels to people you will be got, or economic level, or in the social class you will get there. So that is called variables. So variables are the factor or element. You will say it is a factor or the element that researchers aims to investigate, understand, and analyze. So what happened, the researcher want this key point, want to find out this key factor or the key component. Okay, this factor, that is called the factor or the element, and that element help that and from the element the researcher investigate, understand, and analyze this factor. That will be help the researcher in the many ways. It will be help, the variable help the researcher in many ways to understand the relationship. Second, testing the hypothesis means the predictions. Okay, so testing the hypothesis and drawing the conclusion, or you say it will be guide the researcher throughout the research. Okay, so the variables is very important in the research, because it will be help the researcher in many ways, like understanding the conclusion relationship, draw conclusion, and testing hypothesis. So in, or you say in the throughout the research, it act as a guide for the to the researcher. So this is called variable. Take an example. Suppose you were taking a class of the students, and you will explain a procedure of hand washing, or any procedure you explain in the class. In the second day, when you ask the question in the class, there are about 50 students are there. In the second day, when you ask the question on the same procedure, on that procedure, then out of 50 students, they will be give you the satisfaction answer? No, that will be differ. The roll number 1, if you take the roll number 1, he or she give the answer of the give the answer of your question, and the roll number 2 answer is quite different, because it will be differ from roll number 1 to roll number 2. So in the class you will find the 50, from out of 50, 20 students give you the satisfactory answer, and other 15 students are not giving you the their answer is not is accurate, and some they are not giving the answer, some of them. So it will be vary from student roll number 1 to roll number 2, and like way in the roll number 15, so you will get different answer. So this is called variables. Okay, so this is called variables. So here the researcher or the teacher find out how many students will we give the satisfaction to, why not, how many give you the average answer, or who are in the borderline. So this is called the, and by this from the answers from the data, the teachers change the education process in different way. He will be state the in a different way he will teach the students. So this is called the variables. So some of the variables can be manipulated. We can you can change the variables also be. Some can be manipulated and some is also be affected. We will be get if we change one side, then other one will be affected. So according to their actions and their effect, they are named different way. They are classified into 6 categories. The first one, that is research variable. So this is called research variable, or the research variable. It is the found in the qualitative research and the exploratory research process also. So what happens, this is called a building block. Here you are getting the variables, they are the building block that will help to test the hypothesis and then draw the conclusion. So this is called research variable. Here the researcher have to only observe without any manipulation and in the natural setting. Okay, suppose you are now the most of the college students, they are more prefer to the more prefer towards the street food and the junk food. So if you are going to study to assess the food habits and the preference of the students, college students, so here you are only have to observe, you are not manipulating anything and you are observe in the natural setting. Okay, so that is called the research variable. Next one is the independent variable. So the independent variable is names indicating that it is not affected by any other factor. He works independently. So the independent variable, so what happens, it is called the cause. The cause in the research it is called the cause, and it will be affect in the other side, that is called independent. Take an example. Now the students, now the results will be come out from the CBSE and also from the competitive exams. We are getting in the news, we are getting the results. So you see, those who have throughout the year have been proper preparations for the long times of study, they have got the good marks. Yes or no? So long study time or the good preparation throughout the year give the students good result. Okay. So the long time or the time spent study is the independent variable. So if you say the time spent study, if a student throughout the year do a proper preparation, then at the end of the when the result will be out, the result will be good, or there will be score about 95, 94, like this type of percentage will be get. If the time spent hour, if the his preparation is less, or if not given much more time to the study, then the result will be what, decreases. So if you manipulate this one, that is the time spent study hour, then you see in other end, other side, that will be variation of that will be affect to the other side. So this is the time spent study, this is the independent variable. Now it is the independent variable, that is I have written IB, independent variable. So it is affect to the result, that is called a dependent variable. So you will see this is the cause and this is the effect. Yes or no? So this is the cause and effect relationship. Okay, so the independent variable is the cause, dependent variable, that is the effect. In the cause side, you manipulate, you increase or decrease the level. Here on the opposite side, you measure. How it is, you measure to determine if it is affected by the independent variable or not. Okay, so that is called a dependent variable. This name indicating it is dependent. It is affected by, or it is the outcome of the interest, or you say that outcome of the interest. Okay, so this is independent and a dependent variable, and the independent from the here we are observing the cause and effect relationship. Okay, so this is the independent and dependent variable. Next to it, that is called the demographic variable. So as you already told, in our medical field, we are dealing with the our research topic are based on the human populations and also the patient, the human beings. So human beings are our participant in our research. Okay, so in this way we have to gather a comprehensive data of the individual. So that is called the age, gender, income, anxiety level, economic level, ethnicity. So these are come under what? Demographic data. Okay, or you say this is the demographic variables. Next one, that is extraneous. Extraneous means outside. Okay, it is saying that it is outside, or his other name is intervening. Someone outside, third person is entering to it in between the two person. So it is intervening. Someone from the outside. It is not in this in your study, but outside it will be affect to the study, and in the study it affects the dependent variable. That is very important. The outside factor, the intervening variables that affect your dependent variable. Okay, so this is not the part of the study. This is not the part of the study, but it will affect the dependent. Suppose you take, so the doctor advised do some exercise, or if you do some activities level, increase the activity level, then body weight will be under control. Okay, so if you increase the activity level or the exercise, every day you are doing exercise, then body weight will be under control or reduce in the increase in the exercise level, then the decrease in the body weight. But the outside factor, outside variable, that is the diet preference. If the person is more foodie towards the non-veg, or the person is taking the high calorie diet, okay, so that will be affect what, the body weight, because exercise is going on but weight is not reducing, because the diet preference, the person is very much like to fond of the non-veg, or the taking the consuming high calorie diet. So the dependent variable is affected. Here what happened, the dependent variable, that is the body weight is affected by your diet, by the diet preference. So this is called the extraneous variable, or the outside variable, or you say the intervening variable, or the it is not in your study, and that is not in the part of the study, but outside factor. Okay, so this is called the extraneous variable. Next to it, that is a confounding variable. So confounding is name indicating confuse. It's make you confuse. So it's confused if, and it is affect not only the dependent variable but also the independent. It will be affect both the independent and the dependent variable. That is the thing. So it is a difference. In extraneous, that will be affect the dependent variable, but in confounding it will affect both id independent variable and also dependent variable. For a good understanding, take an example. We have earlier told the study hours that will give you good result. Suppose overnight study of a student, that will be give a good marks in the morning exam. So overnight study give you good result. In the next morning you will be appear the exam, you getting the good result. But the outside, if you take the intellectual level, or you say the previous knowledge of the students, then it is a factor that will be affect the study hour and also the good marks. Because if a students already the concept is clear, the IQ is good, or they have already the previous knowledge, prior knowledge of that subject, so that need not need to not need the student to do long study to get a good marks, because already concept is clear, he or she have the prior knowledge. So less preparation, that can be give you the good result. Yes or no? So here the independent variable is also affected. Yes or no? And if the student having prior knowledge about the concept is clear, then and in the exam automatically he will get the good answer. Okay, so good result he will be score good. So this is called dependent variable. So bothly the confounding variable that affect the independent variable and also dependent variable. So if the prior knowledge of the student, that will be no need to long hour of study in the overnight, or he will be get without overnight study or without much more preparation, he or she can with a good result. So this is called the confounding, or it is create a confusing situations. Okay, so this is the confounding variables. And by this way, in the variables we'll discuss the six types of variables. So the variables is the characteristics of the measurable, that is measurable. The measurable characteristics of the characteristics, or you say the qualities or the properties that is measured, or that is what study in by the researcher, and that will be helpful the researcher in many ways, like drawing conclusions, testing hypotheses, and also but the understanding the relationship, or I will say in the throughout the subject it acts as a guide to the researchers. So this is all about the research variables, this is all about the variables, and here we have discussed only the key points of the different types of variables, and I hope you will understand about the variables. Thank you for watching, and please keep on subscribing.